Welcome to the long-awaited April edition of the Sunny and V podcast. We got hockey, we got basketball. We don't have much football now. It's kind of getting a little quiet there. Might have a little conversation or two about it, but what do you want to go with, Canucks, or we're going basketball?
Let's get the Canucks game.
Canucks
Whole NHL process out of the way. Isn't much to talk about other than our own team.
For once, we'll actually start talking about other teams depending on the playoffs coming here next week too. No idea who we're gonna face. I'm hoping it's not Edmonton or Vegas, but we have a big game against the Oilers on Saturday.
Yep.
That's pretty much gonna decide if we win. If I think we get a point, we're good. If we lose, then we're kind of fucked. Then we're probably gonna be facing the 60 million over the cap team. Or 80 million, I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even close to that, but
I guess they
at
just
least 20 mil.
they just signed one of their guys to an extension.
Hannafin.
Yeah, and I heard Stone is coming back
Annually.
almost.
Yeah.
So
Well, one of them
fuck.
gets injured around the trade deadline every year, right? They
Yeah.
got Hurdle too. Hurdle
Fuck,
came back
man.
against us the other day.
And then Edmonton. They haven't even played as many games as us, and they could tie us already in record wise. But I guess that Saturday game's gonna be pretty big too.
McDavid, I think, missed the last couple games. I mean, they didn't need him the other day when they destroyed the Vegas Knights 5-1.
true.
But yeah, I don't know if he's legit hurt or if it's kind of like a rest thing with him, because apparently he went down at the end of the Calgary game. And then, I mean, obviously they did fine against Vegas, but if they want to make a deep run, he's definitely going to have to be healthy on their end as well. So yeah, hoping I don't play either of those teams. But, nice to be back in the playoffs.
Yep.
Who knows how long it's actually going to last. And, we were talking about it earlier. Like, there's a really, like, an easy matchup. I mean, you know what? Nashville's been on fire. They've been on one of the best teams in the second half.
Yep.
And you always have to be kind of playing well going into the playoffs, right? So that's one issue that the Canucks have had recently too, is that they've been slumping here a little bit lately. Offense has started to dry up.
Yep.
Goaltending has been okay. I've definitely noticed their bottom six. Like the bottom six with Lafferty and Bluger, even I guess McKay's in there now. None of those guys are scoring anymore.
No.
Right? So right now, I mean, we're probably most likely going to face, depending on how if we stay in first, we're going to face Nashville or LA. Otherwise, we're facing most likely Vegas at that point then. So
Yeah, I think
kind of a big difference.
It is a big difference. I think they're gonna have to fight hard to stay first in the Pacific, because you're right. I think the best matchups would be Nashville or LA Kings. Even though Kings, we do have trouble.
Yeah.
But at least they're not on like an onslaught of destroying the shit out of us like Edmonton and Vegas can do. Nashville would probably be the best. Yeah, they've been rocking it for this last little bit, but I think that you can cool down at any point, especially when the playoffs come. But it's just these other teams they seem so strong, because we've seen, like, look at how Edmonton started.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to be the top of the Pacific Division for so long, and then out of nowhere now we're tied in wins with Edmonton, which makes like zero sense, but it also does make sense of what they've done in like the second half of the season.
I think we're up like 18 points on them at one
Yeah,
point.
that
Now
was
it's down to like
crazy.
2 or something like that. I mean, depending on what happened with Arizona today. I mean, Arizona helped out the Oilers the other day, so hopefully they can return the favor today at least.
True.
But,
Hopefully they do something.
yeah, hopefully they do something. At least just get overtime loss or something for Edmonton. I'll take that even. So yeah, I mean, Canucks. I mean, I think the big thing with the Canucks right now is going to be Demko, man.
Yep.
He's kind of like, I was looking at the goaltending percent. The Canucks goaltending percentage in the last 9 games since. I think a little more.
More
now,
probably
like
now.
11, 12 now since Demko's missed.
Yep.
Their save percentage has been 883, below 900. So that's not very good, of course.
No.
And but they haven't played terrible. Like, they haven't allowed the Canucks in front of them defensively have played okay.
They have.
But Demko's the guy who will save you that goal per game.
Yep.
Make that save when you really need that save. Won't allow that bad goal when you don't need that bad goal.
Yep.
Right? So, I mean, he's kind of the guy who, like, without him, and, of course, Hughes, Pettersson, everybody, we're not going to win without any of those guys, but he's part of those guys that we need 100% healthy going into the playoffs. So
even with him gone for the 12 whatever games, he still has a top 3 save percentage. He's at like 912.
Yep.
And missing that many games, he's still like top 3 or 4 in wins, which shows you that he's been gone for this long, but somehow he racked up enough wins to still be one of the top guys. I don't think any goalie had even hit 40 yet. and he was at like he's like
Yeah.
it was, last time I checked, he was like 4th or 5th in that because there was a bunch of ties on a bunch of other goalies, so he got pushed back a bit.
Well, he's playing. I mean, he didn't play the most amount of games or anything either, but he wanted, like, obviously the Canucks are doing so well prior to his departure. I think we've been about a 500 team the last 12 games. So.
For sure.
And on top of that, it's how many games do you need to get back in shape, right? Because he'll be coming by the time the playoffs start next week. That'll be, I would say, almost like a month.
Yeah, man,
Over a
that's
month
a long.
off, right? And then coming back to playoff hockey
And what was his exact injury?
I think it's like a knee injury of some sort, knee sprain. So you never know with sprains. Obviously, that seems like the Canucks have been a little bit more on the safe side of things because we're not going to go anywhere without a healthy Demko, right?
Yeah.
Just like a healthy Hughes or Pedersen or Miller. Any of those guys are, not playing up to their level. We're not going to go very far. So
Goalie's
I think, yeah. And I'm hoping, it's tough because if he comes back tomorrow against a good Edmonton team, right? That's a tough matchup your first game back too. So,
but that would be a really good one to throw you back into. At least even like win, you're gonna be your confidence goes up. Lose, you can blame it on the rust too. So it's kind of a little bit of blame before playoffs.
Well, and that's
one game.
The thing is, like, it's a big game tomorrow.
It
and
is.
honestly, even with Demko, nice pass, Diaz. Even with Demko missing that time, I'd still be more confident in him as a goalie over
Exactly.
Smith and Seelaws, right?
Yeah.
So I would love to see him back tomorrow, and that gives him maybe 2 games before the playoffs, and then some practice time after that to get his body reacquainted. But I don't know, man. It's going to be a very, very interesting next 8 days here. Who knows what we're going to end up with playoff seeding?
Yeah,
Demko's going to be back. Who we're playing, right? Like, there's so much on the line. So.
Well, right now, as of right now, who would be playing each other if everything kind of stays the same right now and wins and losses don't really change much?
Yeah.
The Stars would play the Golden Knights. That'd be crazy.
That'd be a crazy.
Avalanche versus the Jets. Two like very similar kind of really speedy teams. Canucks versus the Preds, and then Oilers versus Kings. So it's like the
Kings are surpassed these guys in the standings now.
past two.
Damn, I thought Vegas was up the whole time.
No, they're the wild card too right now.
Holy shit, Vegas is really slumping. Lost 3 straight. I
Yeah,
didn't realize
man.
it was that bad.
They've
Holy
been
stuff.
just putting themselves out of that spot. And then on the eastern side, you got some crazy matchups. You got Bruins versus the Lightning. You got Panthers versus Maple Leafs. Rangers versus Capitals. And then the Hurricanes versus Islanders.
Who are the Maple Leafs, man? I mean, but you know what? I think these standings are a little bit day old because Pittsburgh is now in the wild card number 2 spot.
Over Capitals.
So they've taken over the Capitals with a win yesterday and the loss. But I think everything else pretty much stays the same.
Yeah.
Which would be Lightning versus Bruins in a first round matchup would be insane.
Yeah.
Panthers versus Leafs. I mean, Leafs have what? I've only made it out of the round last year, and then they got smoked by, I think it was Florida in the next round. Remember, they only won 1 game and lost in the gentleman's sweep. And then who are the other matchups potentially?
Rangers, and I guess Pittsburgh will take that spot now. That's gonna be crazy.
That would be, if it was Pittsburgh Rangers, man. That is going to be a good.
That's back
matchup.
to some old school shit.
Old school shit, dude. Crosby's on fire. Malkin's doing good, right? All these guys are stepping up, and then
Hurricanes Islanders
are going to get the least coverage.
They are definitely.
But Hurricanes are a good team, man. And Islanders have won like 6 straight.
Yeah.
So these guys have been doing pretty well too. So.
Yeah, I think that's about it for honestly the NHL until playoffs, or I guess even in this next 3 days?
Playoffs are around the 20th. I think the last day of games, if I'm not mistaken, is around like the 15th, 16th or so.
Yeah.
As far as because we got
probably got another 5
days.
days or something.
We just got Calgary on the Saturday. We've got.
Because we're at 79 games.
Yeah, I think the last.
We got 3 left.
We've got Calgary on Tuesday.
Winnipeg and Edmonton. Because Winnipeg's our finishing game.
I don't think they've. Well, never mind. We play a few different. I thought we didn't have as many games.
Because I know we finish in Winnipeg, Edmonton.
Oh, we play Calgary, so the back-to-back. We play Winnipeg and no, is it a back-to-back or am I just tripping? Oh, okay. I got to look at the skin. The way I looked at it, we had way less games than I originally thought. I thought we only had like 2 games left. So we got 3 games left.
We have 3, and Edmonton, not including, they're playing today, right?
Yeah, they played
Not
today.
including today. They still got 4 games left.
Yeah, but the only thing that works in our favor as far as the Oilers is they got a lot of games in a short amount of days.
Yeah,
they played
true.
today, then we played them tomorrow, and they're on a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, I think it's going to be home back-to-back, if I'm not mistaken. So that kind of helps a little bit. You're not going on the road anywhere. So that's kind of nice. But, yeah, we're 4 points up. They got a game on hand on us, depending on what happens today. And then depending on what happens the other games. And we play, the Jets. Who knows what they're going to have on the line when their game is.
Yeah.
And then we should be able to beat Calgary too, right? So,
yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about as far as NHL
I think
goes?
that's it. That's the NHL.
All right. So that's it. And for this week's edition of the Sunny and V NHL podcast, we'll be back soon with the NBA one.